Hey guys, Greg Tambone here, Bone Tactical, and going to give you a real quick rundown of the Bloody Bill Bowie knife. Now, really what we're going to do a lot of today is some destruction testing, and we're going to take it to the next level of destruction testing. But just in case you haven't seen the Bloody Bill Bowie yet, there are other videos here on the channel discussing it and showing it, but they are constantly changing, small modifications, and we do our best to improve anything we can improve. Every model's a bit different. So this is the very late 2020 and early 2021 version right here, okay? They ship in the Bone Tactical Shemagh. Haven't really shown that yet, but this is how they ship. They've got the Bone Tactical patch on there. The patch is Velcro. If you don't like the Bone Tactical patch, you can stick your favorite patch right over the top of it. One of the cool things about having a Velcro patch. This is the knife itself here. Beautiful granadillo or cocobolo wood handle. It is absolutely one of the most beautiful woods in the world. Incredibly more precious than mahogany or teak. It's just really one of the greatest woods that's out there. You guys have seen these before, but every handle is different. Every knife is different, okay? It's jumpable, as you guys know. It's sits here in the sheath like this, all right? So what we've got going here is the sheath that is designed to be able to be used by Special Forces soldiers so it won't fall out if they're on an airplane, all right? So apart from that, you just rotate this over to the side here and grab the knife, give it a pull, and it comes right out of the sheath very easily. All right, the sheath, one of the cool things about the sheath is this section on the back here. What it can be used for is carrying on the belt, obviously, but it's fully removable. What these two holes rather than one hole means that it's going to hold firm here. So it's not going to flop and flip around and it's hard plastic. So pretty much everybody else that makes a Bowie knife on the market is shipping their Bowie knives with a soft loop here. And what that means is when you're wearing it, the knife just flips and flaps all over the place. It really can't be used properly. You just have to carry their knives in your backpack or something like that. Extra level of security, we've got the cord here that is attached to the bottom, and that's just really if you really want to tie it around your leg. Obviously all of these points can be used as tie down points or lashing points. The knives ship with the grease here on the blade, so I'll just wipe that off since we're kind of showing the blade here. What that allows it to do is just not rust. It creates a nice little barrier on there and soaks into the steel itself, into the pores, so we've got a very unlikely to rust, even down here in an extremely, where I'm at in Central America, in an extremely humid environment, they're not going to rust, all right? We'll show you testing today. We've got, obviously, the full fighting guard that you can see. We've got this grip pattern here below the fighting guard all along the top and the bottom of the knife. We've got a saw back. That the saw back can be, if somebody grabs the knife, it can cause pain. Okay, it can be used to saw wood. It can be used to aid in cutting wire, all kinds of things like that. The back of the knife here, very, very tough. Okay, very squared off for glass breaking, for using as a strike pommel, but it's not sharp in case you got to assist on pushing down, okay, into something. If you want to stab something, it can assist for that. And it's got this curve in the blade, basically sort of a recurve, so it slashes and chops extremely well, but still a very tanto-ish point, a very pointy point, okay? We take from really just a traditional Japanese kind of almost of a style there with the point, but even more of a little bit of a Persian influence, Persian sword influence there. All right, on this point that allows it to stab extremely well. That's another reason why we've got almost 4 inches of blade, almost 5 inches of blade back here before the saw back even starts, so we can just get massive and supreme penetration. And then the saw portion of the blade is actually thinner than the front portion of the blade. So what that means is the blade's not going to be difficult to pull out. If I do stab into something, the wound channel is going to be bigger than having to worry about pulling it out after I stab into something. All little details that you probably wouldn't think about, but we do. All right. Designing the most effective edged weapons in the world, we think about all these details. Now, let's get right into doing some hardcore destruction testing and chopping and cutting with this knife. All right, it's time to do the cutting tests of the Bloody Bill Bowie. We got the Bloody Bill Bowie here, all right? Cutting test, the first cutting test is it shaving sharp? Everything that leaves Bone Tactical Shop is shaving sharp. You can see the hairs coming off here. Is it shaving sharp? Yes, it's shaving sharp, okay? It left Bone Tactical Shop. That means I can shave with it. That means it's shaving sharp. I'll show you the sheath system here. That's the sheath system. We talked about how it doesn't jump and flap around. It's not going anywhere or moving and shaking. It's not gonna come out of the sheath by itself. I pull that down, I pull it out, and I'm good to go. Gonna do some cutting tests here with the Bloody Bill Bowie knife, okay? Full-size combat knife, modern combat knife. You guys have heard all about it. We're gonna do some cutting tests, and we're gonna do I'm gonna walk you through, do some real slow stabbing tests and some chopping tests just to see how it performs, okay? We're doing ham, we're doing really heavy-duty jean material, so I'll just kind of stab there a little bit, all right? Real nice, easy stab. I'm walking you through it, and we can see that the penetration on there was tremendous. A lot of people said that we're going to have a problem being able to pull this out because of the saw back. So let's see if I have a problem pulling that out. Nope, no problem pulling it out whatsoever. All the way embedded here in the flesh. Let's do one more stab here. All right, that went all the way through. All right, you guys can see that went all the way through there. Let's see if I have a problem pulling it out. No problem pulling it out, so that is completely false that you would have any kind of a problem removing it from flesh because of the saw black. All right, this time it did go completely through. See if we got that on the GoPro. Awesome, completely through. Buried deeper than the tang of the blade. That actually went through bone on this one. Okay, so I think that goes without saying. I'm not even putting any force into this. We're getting 12 inches of penetration, all right, all the way through this, deeper than the ham hock is, so that goes everything you need to say. There's not going to be any problems with stabbing. Let's see what it does chopping, okay? That's a nice little cut there. All right, that's an even better cut there. As you heard, there's a bone there. Okay, and it definitely chopped through that bone. You can see the bone fragments here. That's bone. This is all bone that it just chopped through. Okay, so we're hacking through bone right now and seeing how easily this can chop through a very dense, the leg of a hog. It's going to be the same as the upper leg of a human being. This is the upper leg of a hog. All right, there we go. Again, this is all bone here. That's all broken bone. All right, we got another. Looks like we went through the bone that time, so we're through the bone. You can see the bone is completely cut in two here. I'll just slice really quickly just to show you there. That's completely cut through the upper leg bone. That's the bone right there. We cut through the other side of it. Okay, so very easily cutting through bone here. 3 or 4 swipes and we're through the bone. All right, let's do some more chopping tests. All right, that was a chopping pretty much just on flesh. Let's look at the wound channel we've got there is about this deep, but not stabbing, that's chopping. So that's basically gonna open somebody up with irreparable damage. If you're talking about chopping, that can chop through somebody's forearm. That's definitely bigger than the forearm. So we're talking just very, 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 very serious chopping. I'll give a down chop right here, see if I can get it to stay and see what it'll do. Okay. Again, we're talking devastating chops here. That hit bone, you could hear it hit bone again. And just good 5 inches cutting through the whole layer of fat, the skin, and all the way here to the bone. Very, very, very devastating. Okay, stabbing tests in reverse grip. All right, we went in and hit bone again. You heard it hit the bone. Let's see, did it do any damage to the tip? No damage to the tip of the knife, buried in bone. All right, let's see again, stab in again. All right, another stab test. Went all the way through here, okay? And we're just looking at absolutely devastating damage here to the ham. While we're at it, let's do another test with the Bloody Bill Bowie knife. This is a great simulation of my hands being slippery, okay, of the grip of the knife, because my hands are covered in pig fat and they're slippery. Okay, cut through about 50%. We're talking about very heavy. This is actually the hoof section. And so we're talking about very heavy. 2 strikes, cut through about 90%. I'll give it one more whack. And this is going to be much harder than anything on a human. We're doing pretty good damage here. Let's keep doing some testing. Okay, again, equivalent of a human forearm. That's about 75% of the human forearm. Any kind of ability to use the hand is going to be completely abandoned at this point. That's all the way through the bone. Again, that's about 80% through bone. This is the bone right here. This is the Bloody Bill Bowie, and one swipe, it'll cut about 80% of a human forearm if it's even covered in 3 layers of jeans. 4 layers of heavy-duty jean material here, okay? Show that one more time. Again, completely destroying bone and chopping through the ability. If I had a terrorist going to trigger a remote and I came through and swung with this, I could effectively disable their use of the remote. All right, guys, Bloody Bill Bowie. We're gonna keep doing the testing here with a cardboard cut test. This is a standard cardboard cut test. Cardboard is a really great tell of whether a knife is sharp or not. Because we just got done cutting a bunch of flesh, you can still see the flesh in the saw back. We didn't even clean the knife, nothing. We're gonna see if the knife lost its edge or if it's still sharp. I'm not gonna tell you it's still sharp. I'm gonna show you whether it's still sharp or not. Here we go. You tell me, is the knife still sharp? I think that's a pretty good sign that the knife is still sharp there. Let's give him a little bit off the top. There we go. Bloody Bill Bowie from Bone Tactical. Okay, guys, water bottle cut test. We've cut cardboard, we've cut meat, we've cut bone. We've been cutting with this thing all day long. Let's see if we can cut any water bottles. I've never tried this before in my life. This is the first time I've ever tried cutting water bottles in a line like this. I saw some guys doing it. So let's see if it's even I guess it's a thing, so we're gonna try it. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I definitely didn't do a very good job. Like I said, it's my first time. But I obviously went on an up angle, and I should have went on an angle like that. But you guys can see that's pretty cool. The knife is still sharp. Now, guys, we're going to do a stab test with the Bloody Bill Bowie. I've got the Bloody Bill Bowie here. All right. Going to do a stab test. Stab test to see how strong the point is. Will the point break, or will this hard, old, you can see I'm banging on it here, and it's barely even putting dents in the table. I can run my fingernail here, and my fingernail doesn't dent the wood. You can tell this is tough wood. It's very hard, very tough wood, okay? And these tests here are gonna show the validity of the toughness of the point of the blade. This is a point test. Again, I'm doing this without gloves on. You won't see anybody else doing this on the internet without gloves on. You won't see a lot of guys who have that much confidence in both the grip section, that their hand's not going to slip while stabbing, or in the actual tool itself. But I have that much confidence in my tools all day long. That's all the way through the wood there. No point damage whatsoever. Bloody Bill Bowie with a coconut, just because I'm thirsty. I already know what it'll do. Doesn't get a whole lot better than fresh coconut juice. Ball now.